Well, y'all, it's June 10th, Saturday, 2023 after dinner. I'm waiting for a couple other videos to load. They got hours of uploading time left on them. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to get this thing out of here. But that nut is still kind of cemented to the sink underneath. And then the thing that holds this thing into the other side, I couldn't quite get that loose either because I just don't have the right tools right now. And you know, I'm sort of recognizing I've got like an old towel over here. I was gonna take a torch to that thing under there and try my basin wrench again, and that last remaining nub that hadn't already broken off just kind of popped off. And I was like, well, I'm gonna have to lift this whole thing out with the faucet on it. And I'm wondering if they torqued that other nut down while the faucet, while the sink was out anyways. But unfortunately, I got my garbage disposal out here, and I'm trying to lift this freaking thing up. Okay, so this old school, oh shit, whoops, sorry for the language, my sweater got stuck under, but yeah, this thing weighs maybe 100 pounds is what it is seeming like to me. So I can start to lift it up, but this is one of those honey, you need a man type moments. But unfortunately, my man is not in the country right now. So I gotta just get it done. I'll check back in with you guys after I work this out. All right. So here is step 2 of this process is I can't really get a good angle on picking it up from that garbage disposal. And so I decided what I needed is the 67-cent cement brick that I bought to plug up the hole on the back of my wood stove to regulate how much air was going in through there on my special brick on my, not my wood stove, my rocket stove outside rather. So that way I'll be able to get my fingers up under there. And then I brought in this 4x8x16, and I'm gonna shimmy this over to the side. And then I regret that I don't have a tripod to put my tablet up on so that you guys can see this process. But I'm gonna shimmy this over a little bit, and then I'm gonna shimmy this under here. And then part of the issue is that there is a nut under there that I do still need to disconnect for this little thing because it's, well, I think I do. Maybe I don't. Sometimes my brain's not working so right. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm going to be okay. But I'm going to shimmy this under there flat, and then I'm going to stand it up and just look at it and figure out what I'm going to do. Now, my friend Zoxley had replaced the little sprayer nozzle thingamabobber that had not been winterized. Where did I put it? But then unfortunately, when I left here, I did not winterize. I forgot to winterize the new little faucet sprayer nozzle, so that one was busted too. But I'm just gonna try to get it upright, and then I gotta figure out where to put this thing. It's got a little bit of a landing pad, but yeah, I'm not really sure. I think I'd be curious to weigh this thing later, but I think it's like 100 pounds. It's a beast. It's a monster. So I guess we'll see how this goes. Alright, so I just checked underneath there, and as far as plumbing goes, it is all just connected to itself. So I can pull this whole thing out. So I'm going to end up taking out this bigger cement block because this little one is enough to help me get my fingers under there. And eventually that cement block, when it's not being weighed down, might fall. So since I'm good to get this out, I realized what I really need is something really tall, ideally counterweight. Now, if I would have done this before I moved the dishwasher out of here, the old dishwasher, that would have been much better, because that would have been a perfect height to try to get the sink moved onto. But instead, I got this, because I just don't have it in me to get that dishwasher back in here up over that edge either. So I got this, and it's just a piece of, it's just, you know, real solid wood furniture that was in kind of questionable shape, but I had painted it white with that. But I got this old pillow that came with the house that I'm not attached to. However, it is useful for laying across there when I need to get under the sink. And then I'm just gonna stick this over here and we're gonna see how it goes. Now, it is just hard to put into words how extremely densely heavy this thing is, in an awkward shape at that, for somebody of my size to try to pick up. I mean, this thing, I don't know, it might be more than 100 pounds. This thing might weigh as much as I do. I'm not sure. It seems like impossibly heavy. So, I was kind of in my pajamas, but I had to take off my sandals and put on my heavy winter boots in case this thing falls on me. I don't want to just totally destroy myself. So my plan, I took that thing out and I shimmied this over, and I'm going to pick it up, and then once I get it high enough, I'm going to try to shimmy this thing under, like across the corner, under this corner of the sink, so that I can, I don't know, guys, let's just see. So this is how it's going. I got this thing under there. I got this thing just in case this thing falls, and I moved my brick under here. It doesn't even look like it's contacting right now, which is weird. It's just kind of, I guess, resting on the thing now. So I got another one of these outside that I'm going to bring over and try to like shimmy up under this other side, because the thing is that I gotta get this thing up high enough so that this, the drain underneath, you can't see it too well, but it's hiding in there, so that is going to clear the plywood. And this is how it's going. I had to shimmy that thing on the back end, and all right. And I'm happy I put this there, because that is now holding it, and this thing is all crazy. So basically I'm gonna shimmy these flat ones under further, and then try to tip this whole thing on a controlled fall onto this pillow. And then I gotta find something to put down here so that I can kind of do a controlled fall to the ground, rather than just having this 100-pound sink just boom fall onto my floor. So let's see. Alrighty, so I thought this would be interesting to try to take a video of for myself, if nothing else. But I got a little orange bag down there full of like old winter gloves and stuff like that of dubious mousage in my absence. And I got that heavy ass sink looking all crazy. And I decided that I would just prop this thing up, since I don't have a tripod for my tablet. It's propped up against a can of Rust-Oleum countertop stuff right now. So, just for posterity, even if nobody else enjoys this, maybe my family will get a kick out of this one day. We're gonna see. This could be, I don't know, guys. Ooh. Okay, so we gotta do a controlled slide, kind of. I didn't close that door. Hopefully it doesn't hit that door. I'm committed now, guys. Oh. Okay. Wow. This thing, I don't recommend anybody try this at home, but this is just Miss Sion's cement block softball landing mythology for getting out crazy heavy. Well, it looks like I could stick my finger through this hole up here with this hand. Oh, fudge. The whole table is tipping over. I gotta do better than this. Oh, snap. No. I'm gonna have to push in that stove to get this thing outside. Holy cow. this thing is all sorts of, look, I got a dead bumblebee friend in there, what I forget what that kind is called. But this is, look at all this stuff I gotta clean up and scrape off and sand off and everything. And this counter, this plywood is actually connected to these cabinets, and this is my nasty under sink for the record. Shoot, I took off my gloves. I don't really want to touch this thing without my glove on, so let me just, sometimes it's tough with my, here's my handy dandy tripod. Not a tripod, but you know what I mean. Okay, so let's take a look at this freaking thing. So, okay, this freaking thing right here. I mean, I would have had to lift off this heavy sink anyways, but I took my basin wrench to that and I ended up taking some heat to it, but I could not get that thing off. So now that it's off and I'm just gonna get it moved, I'm just gonna be able to take my oscillating tool saw with a saw blade on it and just cut this plastic thing off of there and salvage my sink. This one, we'll see if I can get it off with a wrench or if that one's gonna break off too. But here is the underside. I couldn't really get at that real good either. I'm not even sure how my friend got that on there so tight. I wouldn't be surprised if he did it to troll me. But here, the underside of my crazy heavy sink. So, unfortunately, I'm not gonna keep this video running the entire time that I'm trying to get this thing outside. I got my moldy bread over there. Oh, June 10th, 2023. You know, I'm gonna add to this video a little bit more after I unbox my nice new sink and just see if it fits in the hole, and then we can all find out kind of together. Before I take these down, just the aftermath of my cement block positioning. Again, don't try this at home, kiddos. So Josephine the cat has come to join. Josephine gonna come to join us for this. But I just wanted to, sorry, I'm still a little bit out of breath. I wanted to show you guys a side-by-side before I try to dry fit this and see if it fits in the same hole, because they are about the same size. So I have nothing against Lowe's. I just haven't shopped there in a long time because they generally don't have a Lowe's real close to my house in places that I've lived for the past quite a while now. So I do have a pro account with Home Depot because I also shop with them for a rental property I have. And I've had them put in carpet and all sorts of things on my rental house, which has been quite a nice service. But this is my Verse 18 gauge 33 inch by 22 wide by 9 inches deep. This is the 18 gauge again version of this sink that I was able to get on sale for $199. Now some of these sales, they kind of come and go pretty quick, so I don't know what it's going for right now. And this has been a long deferred project. This stainless steel Paulina faucet I got on sale for $69, which I think, but I'm not sure, might have been a special deal just for people with pro accounts with Home Depot. But I feel like, wow, you know, I'm just so ecstatic because I got a really fancy system, a really fancy faucet here for the same price as what something, you know, similar to this would have usually cost me. And the impetus for this whole project is that this is so corroded, or not corroded, but there's so much like buildup on the inside here from my hard water that after I got the water turned on, no water at all would come out of this sink. And so since I was gonna have to take it off anyways and mess with all that, I was like, well, you know what? I can repurpose this for my outdoor project and then actually get myself a very long deferred upgrade, because this sink here has been a glass killer. You know, it's such a hard, heavy, crazy ceramic sink that if something slips in my soapy hands, just a short distance, it just ends up breaking my glasses and stuff, which I never had before when I've had stainless steel sinks. So even though this is kind of a little bit of a pricey project for me, it's kind of an investment in quality of life, I suppose, and kind of past due with that that sink faucet being all plugged up. Once I finally get this taken off, I'm gonna submerge it in my 5-gallon tub of cleaning strength vinegar. And then this whole thing, hopefully I'll be able to get it cleaned up. And then if I have enough left over of the hard epoxy that I'm going to do my counter in, hopefully I'll be able to also finish this, refinish this in that. Now my water softener, which is also another long deferred kind of large investment project that I've got coming in soon, will maybe be in before I'm ready to put this in, hopefully, but if not, shortly thereafter. I've got a Water Boss 900 coming in, and I'm going to see how it works. I'm going to compare the iron stains in the shower over time. I've been cleaning the bathtub and the surrounding. I've just cleaned part of the iron stains so that I can have like a before, kind of after sort of situation to see what that does. Because supposedly the Water Boss 900 water softener is supposed to be able to filter out 10 parts per million of iron, which is probably not going to be enough for my situation, but we'll see. I figured I would start with that, and I will try to dry fit this sink up in here, and I'll be right back with you. Wow. Well, I am just ecstatic, everyone. I am so happy and really looking forward to using this. Since I was careful to try to get the same size, because I really love the size of this sink and the depth. I think this one might actually be a little bit deeper, but it's going to be great because with my really tall faucet, I should even be able to get my really big pressure canner down in there for cleaning. So I'm super exhausted and super happy, and I think I'm about to have myself another half of a Guinness Stout float after this just to celebrate. I'm so happy because this is my glass killer that is, part of this issue with, it does clean up, but it's like a constant issue because of my water quality here, my well water quality. And it is all scratched up. It's really old. Now, a lot of the stuff in this house, even though it's partially renovated, a lot of the items that are in here are actually used. They put in new used items that kind of came from other houses. So some of the things are a little bit older, but this is a really good quality sink in a lot of other ways. I'm excited to eventually do my outdoor sink project because I've got an old oil tank outside of the basement door. And, the house has a propane heater in it now, but this old tank is still sitting there. It is extremely heavy. I'm not sure how I'm going to move it because I don't really feel like paying somebody to haul it away. I don't really feel like selling it, even though I've had somebody express interest in it before. But what I'm thinking about doing is taking this thing and just pivoting it out so that it'll be at a 90-degree angle to the house. And then against this back wall here, and I might give it a little bit of space because eventually I got to do something with the siding. So depending on how tall my sink ends up being, I might give it some space away from the house. But that is going to probably be where my outdoor sink goes. And eventually I'm going to have a hand pump that I'm going to attach to my water inlet from my well that's down in the basement. I'm going to run it out here, and I'm going to have a hand pump so that even if I have a power outage or that sort of thing, I'll still have easy water out here. And then I'm also going to attach a spigot to my artesian well so that I'll also be able to have flowing water to fill up a bucket and stuff for probably about 2/3, maybe 3/4 of the year, even if my power goes out, especially in winter because I don't want to have to be hauling water in from far away. So I fortunately do have a high water table in the winter. So having that spigot will just be a nice little bit of peace of mind. We did have a bad storm that knocked out our power for a while, and I don't have solar and I don't run a generator. So even though everyone else was running a generator, I was just, cooking out I had some sticks under my charcoal grill that I was cooking on, and I was fetching water and running it through a lot of filters, my Berkey and whatnot. So anyways, I haven't rallied myself to drag this thing out there yet. My moldy bread. I don't know if you guys saw my other video, but I'm not happy. But yeah, so tonight I am going to get this out of here. I am going to get this all boxed back up because it's going to be just a little while. Hopefully while the weather is not good coming up here, I'll be able to make a little bit of headway on this counter situation. I mean, the fact that I'm kind of throwing in the priming of the ceiling, we'll see whether or not I actually make good on that or whether I put it off, because I really do want to have my kitchen sink running again. Washing dishes in the sinks and bathtub is really not ideal. So we'll see how it goes. My dishwasher doesn't come in until June 29th is when it's scheduled to be delivered. You know, originally when I was trying to check out, I said I could get it delivered on June 12th. And then my checkout kind of glitched out, and then the date suddenly changed to the 29th. So again, it's like sometimes getting the things actually delivered takes a bit longer than maybe they used to. But anyways, this is going to be my last video tonight. I don't know which one will post first, but I've got 3 videos uploading tonight. So anyways, it's stout float time, you guys, before I haul this out. Take it easy.